Welcome to my channel to everyone who's new here, and of course for those of you who are back again, great to have you here. Bitcoin is currently trading at around about 113,000 US dollar. In this video we are going to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP and Solana, but before we do that, we will talk about the Bitcoin dominance and the USDT dominance. Why? Because they are going to show us how the overall crypto market is going to perform, in my opinion. So things might remain very exciting today, so make sure to watch until the end. And I also want to tell you that I closed all my short positions. Why? I will tell you that in today's video, because I think a bullish reversal might be even possible sooner than selling off into our targets. And another thing is, as long as my channel is small, I see every single comment. So if you have any kind of questions, if you wish, for example, a specific crypto or a stock, like your favorite one, you can ask me that. I will give my best to answer you or to analyze your favorite crypto token or stock. Just keep in mind that if I haven't ever seen that coin, it's going to take very long to me to analyze it. And also I don't know how it reacts, like how much volume it needs to push the price and so on and so on. So basically don't expect the analysis to be that perfect. For those on your right side, the coins here, I'm pretty good with them in my opinion. So yeah, we just start with the video. So Bitcoin dominance. It looks messy now, but we have set bear flag, which is a bearish consolidation. Even though we get higher prices, it is very corrective, it's not impulsive. So those kind of sellings, for example, they are impulsively bearish. This kind of movement is corrective, and the same can happen on the opposite, where we have an impulsive push and afterwards a small correction, and then the price goes up more. So I think that the Bitcoin dominance has the chance, but for that I have to delete this one so we can see a bit more. So in my opinion, the Bitcoin dominance has the chance to get a bit more higher, in my opinion, into 60.22% to 60%. I will give you here two, not price marks, but you know what I mean with that. So what I have tracked today was a bullish pennant. So basically, so far we got into the target of the minimum target. The minimum target is always the spread of that triangle. We put it here to the retest point. And the retest point was right here. We already went into that target. But if we now take the maximum target, which is the whole length, and then put it here, then you can see we are close to 60.22%, even a bit higher. So 60.6% is going to get very interesting. There I expect, and this is the latest point, a movement to the downside. If we now look into the 4-hour chart, then I want to show you that we had some kind of chart patterns, like for example this head and shoulders formatation, and we went into the targets. Also here a rising wedge. So let me just delete this one. So this one here too, and the bear flag here as well. So we are currently in the falling wedge, and this is a bullish chart pattern. And bullish for the Bitcoin dominance means that Bitcoin is going to outperform the altcoins. So if Bitcoin is going to sell off with an increasing Bitcoin dominance, so Bitcoin dominance goes up, but Bitcoin goes down with its price. Yeah, it can still happen. Just because the Bitcoin dominance is increasing doesn't mean that Bitcoin is going to get green. It will outperform the altcoins. That means if Bitcoin drops, the altcoin drops more. If Bitcoin goes up, the altcoins are going to get up a bit less. That's what the Bitcoin dominance is telling us, if the Bitcoin dominance are going up. If the Bitcoin dominance is dropping, then exactly the opposite is going to happen. So if Bitcoin goes up, the altcoins are going to get this. Since we have a bullish chart pattern on the chart, I want to show you something from the past, but for that, let's move into the 1 hour chart. We also had here a falling wedge, this one right here. And we didn't break it to the upside. So this is a bullish chart pattern with a very high chance. Usually they break to the upside, but it didn't even get activated. So we still got the Bitcoin dominance down, means the altcoins outperformed Bitcoin. And maybe you can remember it. So since a month or something, the altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin by far. And this is why the Bitcoin dominance is dropping. And what I think is that, let me take this one out. What I think is that, yes, we have bullish chart patterns, but we don't have to activate them. So what I think is that we are just going to fill maybe the fair value gaps, maybe get rejected here up to 60%, and then push the Bitcoin dominance to the downside, and that would mean the altcoins are going to outperform the overall market, like let's say Bitcoin. It might be possible that we don't get into that area right here, but for that we have to sell off the BTC dominance right now, because it looks like that we are going to break to the upside. But if not, then this here is a bearish pennant. And if we break it to the downside, I will give you here the price mark. So the current mark is the 59.29%. Then we can get down to 57%. That would be very awesome for the altcoins, and then gains can be made, in my opinion. If we now look over the USDT dominance. So let's break it down. We have said inverted head and shoulders formatation. Broke to the upside, got its retest. Afterwards, a consolidation within a bull flag. This bull flag broke to the upside. Target was 4.37%, also for the bull flag right here. So those two targets got hit. Let me take those out from the chart to clean it up a bit. No, not this one, but this one. So the maximum target is always the length of the head. We put it here to the breakout point. Target. Yeah, what can you see? It got already hit. So I doubt that the USDT dominance is going up more. I think that the USDT dominance is going to get down. What is the USDT dominance for those who don't know it? The USDT dominance is showing us how much capital within the crypto market is in USDT. USDT is a stablecoin. Means if the USDT dominance goes up, then it means people are swapping their cryptos into USDT. So the cryptos are going down. If the USDT dominance is dropping, the coins are going up. So it's inverse. And now let's combine the Bitcoin dominance with the USDT dominance. So I think the USDT dominance is going down. The Bitcoin dominance should go down. What happens with the altcoins? This. If both Bitcoin dominance and USDT dominance are dropping together, this is going to happen for the altcoins. For Bitcoin, maybe this. So we can see huge gains for the altcoins pretty soon, in my opinion. It's not that we haven't said that we are going to sell off. We have showed that with the USDT dominance, and if we look into the charts, then we have also said it in the chart. But we have formed a bearish divergence in the USDT dominance, this one here. So we have a lower high in the RSI, a higher high in the chart. We are forming, or we even formed, double to triple bullish divergences for all the coins. So a bullish reversal might be possible very soon if we don't break more support, or for example for the USDT dominance, if we are not going to get a fat green candle, to invalidate the bearish chart pattern here. If that is not going to happen, then this is the case in my opinion. Like, we really have to get some kind of push, and then I would say I can delete this and we have to look for other chart patterns. So it was a lot. I hope that I explained it very well and very easy to those who never heard about the USDT dominance and Bitcoin dominance so far. So let's jump into Bitcoin. So we have said about Bitcoin, as long as we don't break the $116,880 to the upside, as long as we don't break it, we shouldn't fill the fair value gap. And then we can think about far lower prices for Bitcoin. And since we broke also to the downside, like for example this rising wedge, but for that we have to go into the 4-hour chart. In orange you can see a rising wedge. So this is a big bullish, bearish chart pattern. But within that bearish chart pattern we can still get a new all-time high. So just because we have a bearish chart pattern doesn't mean that we can't get higher prices. But this chart pattern broke to the downside. We also have here our weekly support trend line, $116,880. For those who don't know what this trend line means, let's go into the weekly time frame, zoom out, and then you can see it's the connection between every single all-time high from 2017 to 2021. There are 21 as well. Here 24, 25. And if we zoom in, then you can see almost here another touch point. Now we broke it to the upside and we lost it again. So this was actually our overall bull market top, which we have predicted last year, and we broke it to the upside. So there is more upside potential. Anyway, since we broke to the downside, I have tracked on the 50 minutes time frame. Yeah, I can actually delete this one here. This was a bearish pennant, but we already invalidated it. So let me take this one out of the chart. But also here a small rising wedge. This rising wedge broke to the downside. Target already got hit. But this kept me a bit bearish for Bitcoin because we had some smaller chart patterns, bearish ones, all broke to the downside. We also had here a bullish chart pattern like this falling wedge. Let's make it longer. And you can see here we got support. We lost it. Here again, resistance, resistance. So to be bullish and to expect a bullish reversal, I would even say the chance is very high once we break the $113,520 to the upside. And since my short trades were profitable, I will make this trend line green. It is risky to trade this green trend line because it's not based on any kind of chart pattern. It's just based on the RSI. So, and I like to use the RSI if I don't have any kind of chart patterns left. First of all, I have to take this one out because we invalidated this pattern. Also this one here. So let's say we didn't even invalidate it, we didn't even activate it. So anyway, in the RSI, we can see a low, a higher low. In the chart, a low, a lower low. So we have actually, we can count it as a double bullish divergence or even as a triple one. So we have one low here and one low here. So basically, might be both, who knows, but it is a bullish divergence. If we break it here to the upside and we get some kind of a higher low afterwards, and we break the 116,850 US dollar, not even 50, 116,900 US dollar, this is also going to be green, then I think this price area is going to get very interesting because there is waiting a huge fair value gap for us. And it doesn't matter actually if we are just going to be corrective to the upside or we are impulsive. For the short term, it means in both scenarios, we should see the, let's say, 120,000 US dollar. Now it depends on how we get up. So I can still long it, but if we go corrective to the upside, then we would just break something to the downside and we are going to see lower prices. If we get impulsive to the upside and form something like this, then we can't draw a trend line which is not too sharp. So basically then dip and then all-time high. So it is now the question on how we get up. For sure, we don't have even to break the 113,500 US dollar. We can still get into our target. Our target is $110,300 for Bitcoin. But since we have the bullish divergence and since I found here the old trend line with its breakout, retest and another retest, Bitcoin is strong right now and we have a fair value gap. So once we try to catch this fair value gap, and I think we are going to catch it, this would mean the breakout over the 113,500 US dollar. And then I think many short positions are going to get liquidated. And this can be another circle, like a bullish reversal. If we now look over Ethereum, what can we say? We have said that we broke here support to the downside. We retested it. It was short. We have also said that we can still break this rising wedge to the downside and still get into the fair value gap up, but we should sell off into the area 4,146 US dollar to 4,092 US dollar. So I opened my short position within the retest, but I have calculated that we can get up to 4,450 US dollar. So stop loss was set here to trade this movement here to the downside. The target of the rising wedge, which you can see right here, it got hit with this push perfectly. So I can delete this one out of the chart to clean it up a bit. I can also clean up this fair value gap and this one here as well. Afterwards, on the 50 minutes time frame, I have tracked here a bear flag. It broke to the upside. So I wanted to talk about that, but it was too fast. It got invalidated. So I can delete it now. So back to our target. Our target was the fair value gap, 4,146 US dollar to 4,092 US dollar. Where are we? We went into that area. We have a bullish divergence on the chart. So if we look, here was one. So we had here lower prices, slightly lower prices, but a higher low in the chart. We broke it even to the downside. That's why I have said, okay, we can still sell off a bit more. But since it was already our take profit area, I took profits. I closed my short positions. And now we just have another bullish divergence, which is a bit bigger. So we have a higher low in the RSI, but now we have a lower low, a far lower low in the chart. So it's not anymore slightly lower, it's far lower. So I can expect here at least a bounce. So basically, and that's a bit weird for Ethereum. So I just want to try if I catch some kind of trend line. So this actually looks good to me, but I want to connect those ones. So this is the only trend line which I see at the moment. Yeah, for sure we can also say let's switch into the 50 minutes time frame and then try to find one like this, for example, but you see it's not working. Like I can't find anything right now which looks perfect beside the trend line up here. So that's why we delayed this. If I want to go into a swing long position, might be possible. I'm not going too long right now. I want to see breakouts, because if we see breakouts, then the bullish divergence is going to get activated. Otherwise, it's going just to be a bullish divergence, for example, similar to this case, which we can still break to the downside and invalidate. Same can happen right here. We can still invalidate that bullish divergence. That's why I want to see breakouts in the chart. And the breakout, which I see 4,328 US dollar, but this trend line is a bit sharp. So if we take a few hours or even a day, we are going to get our entry a bit earlier. If we lose the 4,092 US dollar, I will make this trend line. It was green because it was our long trend line like 1 or 2 months ago, but now I will make it red. Because if we now look, but first let me take this one out, 4,117 US dollar. Okay, let me take this one out. So we had a rectangle, and rectangles are unique. If they break to the upside, the target to the downside is still ongoing, and yes, we can still go far more up before we get here. Yeah, we can even get there in the next bear market, but we will get there, in my opinion. Those are rectangles with a very high chance. I don't know why I have 2 times the target here. Anyway, if we break the 4,092 US dollar to the downside, then the target is going to be 3,976 US dollar. If we lose the 3,976 US dollar also to the downside, then I think a far bigger movement to the downside is ongoing then. We just have to track it with chart patterns. So, XRP. So what about XRP? XRP, we have said we have to break the $3.14 to the upside. Then it would be bullish. I can take this one out of the chart. So instead we have set $3.08. Okay. Interesting resistance. We broke the bear flag to the downside and we have communicated it on YouTube. Afterwards we have said we can get up back into the $3.08. Why? And the answer to that question is a fair value gap, which is within the bull flag. So within the bear flag. So basically $3.08, and from here we should sell off. Can I get it? Yeah. We should sell off and get a retest. This retest didn't happen right here. The actual retest, I can just put it here to the right side. It happened there. So this was perfect. And from there we should sell off more. We sold off more. But the issue is now also, like, let's not call it issue, yeah, because we expect a bullish reversal, which is positive for most of us. But for the short sellers, it's not going to be good. Why? Because also here in this case, we have even a triple bullish divergence. So if we take it right here, this is here the low, here is a higher low, and here's another higher low. In the chart, we have lower lows. So basically, a bullish reversal can happen very soon. The only issue here is that I can't find any kind of long trades. Like, what do I want to use? This trend line? It's going to break with a very high chance, but is it going to be the indication of a bullish reversal? I don't think that. So I have to look for a trend line similar to Ethereum, which is less sharp in its angle, for example this one. Or if I want to be more speculative, then I can try this one or this one. I don't like all of them. That's why I will still wait. Maybe we are going to get something like this, and then we can draw maybe something cool to trade with. So if we still decide to break to the downside, don't get our bullish reversal, target is ongoing, $2.67, but yes, we can invalidate it. That's why I'm telling you I'm out of the short trade, even though we still have space to the downside. And the space is still 7.75%. Still, I don't think that we are going to hit it like what I see right now within the RSI. So, what about Solana? We have said about Solana that it was short up here with the chance that we can even get up to $200. And yes, this is going to get very hurt, as it would hurt so much if we get there. But we didn't get there, and in that of the day, here was a bear flag. We broke it to the downside, we retested it, and we still sold off a bit more. Also here, I'm out of the trade, because I have also showed you that it might be just possible that we are going to get another low, but we are not going to get into the maximum target of that bear flag. Just the mid-range target, and from there get a bullish reversal. And I've also showed you that we have to look into the RSI. We have showed it here, that we have to form a bullish divergence, and then we have to be careful, because then this can happen, and afterwards this push with this arrow. So let me delete this one. What actually happened was, yes, a bullish divergence. Higher lows in the chart, higher lows in the RSI, lower lows in the chart, bullish divergence. Also here, jump into the 50 minutes chart. Here I can't see any kind of trend lines as well. For Solana, I have to use a chart pattern, and this chart pattern is in bright blue, this falling wedge. So if we now get the push and we break the falling wedge to the upside, then hallelujah, bullish reversal in my opinion, and we are not going to see the 169 US dollar. So I can take this one out of the chart. I want to take this one out as well to show you the breakout point, not this one, this one right here. So the breakout point is going to be the price mark of $186.70. If we break it to the later time, to the upside, like for example here at 184 US dollar, then I would actually look for the resistance, and here's the resistance. So that's why I will make this one green. So the thing is, if we now get this kind of push and we break it here to the upside and retest the $186, then it's long to me. If we break to the upside a bit later, then I'm not going to jump into a long trade, because this resistance can actually get resistance and we sell off again. And then this was here just an upside correction for another push before we get this kind of movement. That's why I would be very careful, and I would look for the $186.22. Every breakout lower than $186.22 is going to get very dangerous in my opinion. And once we break here to the upside, then the target is pretty clear to me. It is the $198 to 201 US dollar, which we didn't hit in the first push, where we broke here to the upside. So I can also delete this from the chart. The other chart patterns are still ongoing, so I can't delete them yet. I also have to delete a bit more. Like I actually don't like to delete stuff without you, because it might be possible that some of you think, oh, I'm changing the charts to manipulate my win rate, so I'm always trying to be right. And I just create like charts which I never showed on YouTube. That's why I want to keep everything like it is, and I just show you that what happened, if I was right or wrong, and then delete it with you together. So this was a very long update, and I hope that you took many informations and you understood what I was telling you. In the next update, we are going to talk about Sui, Avalanche, HBAR, and Dogecoin, but there I'm not going to be that detailed, not with like this video. So with that said, we see each other in the next update.